Hello. Testing 1 2 1 2. Can everybody hear me okay? Nice and clear? Two, test. How we doing, chat? How we doing, everybody? All good? All good in the hood? So I've had a really busy morning, a busy lunchtime. I have installed a cloud. My mate Spanish was down. Joiner extraordinaire. Look at the mess of my hair. What's going on? Howdy, my Canadian friend, S.A. McClay. Thank you very much for joining again. What time is it there? 9 in the morning? 10 in the morning? Hello, Jack. Welcome back. So I was saying, I've installed a cloud here in the studio, up above me. I wonder if I can throw a camera on it so you can see. So, it is 9. Oh, just having lunch. What's for lunch? What's for lunch, Fiona? Late lunch? 3 o'clock lunch? Jeez, we out in the polytunnel. So, let's have a look at this. Let's see if I can go camera 2. Okay, so up here on the ceiling, there's new black things. How exciting is that? Can you see them? Look at that. So that now goes, you can still hear me. That goes all the way back. I'm in the connection. Chill. Okay, camera dead. Camera's dead. Well, you saw it. You saw the black ceiling for a second at least. Is that a cloud? Yes, it is a cloud, a black cloud. So maybe rain is coming. Oh, that camera's deep. Not that I need it. Oh, it's back. There we go. So, I had a wee problem with my control room ever since I built it, really. I had a dip at 80 hertz. Oh, I had a value. Listen to that. So, this is the band I was mixing yesterday, not the track, not the recording. This is the actual recording from the EP. So yeah, there was a slight problem in this room because of the height of the room. Dear diary, today I learned about another thing that is called a cloud. Yes, well, hang on to your seats. Homemade chicken fajitas was out shopping. Out to the greenhouse soon. Oh, that's very nice. Very, very good. Yeah, so I was missing 80 hertz, which is quite an important bass frequency, when I was sitting down, and it's because of the height of the room, and it's a parallel ceiling, that the frequencies, when they bounce around the room, when they reach the part of the room that my head hangs out in, this part here, the frequencies cancel each other out. So every time I wanted to hear the 80 hertz frequency, I had to stand up. So this way I can stay sitting while I'm mixing, which is good. So it was an absolute nightmare. Hello, Abigail. What's the crack? It was a nightmare. My arms are killing me. Like, you had to hold it up for ages. Like, screwed that in yet, mate? So it was pretty tough, and it just fits. Everything just fits. I think there's lots of sections, and the section at the back, it wasn't quite flush, and I was like, just screw it in. Just screw it in. I don't care. So we did that. It screwed in, and we are now laughing, and I'm very happy because it sounds good. So today, back to actual work. One of the guys on my record label is called Iain Wilson, and we've done 2 singles together, and we are going to be releasing an album soon. So there's some mixes that need to be finished. Thank you for sharing the stream, Abigail. What a super fan. So we're going to be finishing off the mixes together, and the stage this is at is all the synths have been put down, all the pianos, guitars, all the vocals have been done and finished and mixed, but acoustic drums were introduced at the very end. So the acoustic drums are totally dry, and I need to mix them in to make them sound like the rest of the track. It was a kind of a late decision. We weren't sure if we were going to have real drums or leave like electronic drums, and I just decided, well, myself and Iain decided, in for the penny, in for the pound, let's get some real drums in it. And we managed to get that done late last year before lockdown kind of started again. So it's good timing. So here we are, we can start working on that. So I'm streaming with no headphones today. But maybe I should. Yeah, I'm going to get my headphones. 2 sticks. I was so excited about my new cloud that I planned to stream with no headphones. But the problem with that is I can't put it up very loud because it will bleed into the microphone. And anyone that's been to a gig that I've mixed, that will introduce a lot of feedback. Bit of nostalgia for a Keith Waddison mixed gig. Cool. So if you're new to the stream, please click follow. Trying to get to 100 followers. So if you can add to that, that would be amazing. Or if you know someone that would be interested in seeing what on earth happens in a Unit 1 Riggs Road Stornoway HS1 2RF, then please get them aboard. Yeah, that's better. I can hear everything now. So this is a playlist of tracks that I was involved with one way or another. I'm playing the double bass in this one. I'm doing a wee bit of singing. Thank you, Wendy, for liking the stream. If you're on Facebook, come off Facebook, come over to Twitch, hang out with everyone in the chat. It's a really lovely atmosphere. It's Twitch, it's not Twitter, like I said last time. Abigail, thank you for reminding me. Cool. Memories of MIP playing in the background. MIP. What's MIP, Iain? Remind me. Listening in Brodie Ferry. Very nice. Yeah, thank you very much. Have to check out what that is. Raymond, what's the crack, Raymond? Come on Facebook, come on Twitch, come and hang out with us on Twitch. You'll have fun, I promise. So we're gonna hop into Iain's track in just a minute. I loaded it up and made sure everything was kind of smooth and running nicely. So today, the main things we're going to be doing today is mixing drums. I went through all of Iain's tracks on his album. Here they are here, and I wrote down what was needed to be done. And I'm taking you on the journey. Marching to Pitlochry! Yes! What a riot. What a riot. So, Marching to Pitlochry is a festival in, guess where? In Pitlochry. Kind of early on in the year, and it's the perfect size. It's the perfect mix of, you can talk to everyone there. Everyone's in the same hall together. There's lots of cracking inside and outside all of the venues, with all the bands. Afternoon again, Kyle. I think this is every stream you've managed to come to. Another super fan. So I'll pause it there. Thank you very much, playlist. Thank you, the Tumbling Souls. Man, it'd be good to play with them again. Could play double bass again. I haven't done much of that. All right, let's switch you over. Let's see what the crack is. So, yeah, welcome to my screen. Da-da. Currently mixing Abigail Pride. No, I'm not. Let's change that. I'm currently mixing Iain Wilson. Done. If you're feeling super clever, you can hop onto all right, Eleanor, thank you for the like. Nice to see you again. Sorry for stealing your husband for a wee while. Hop onto the We Studio Records Bandcamp page. So you go to Bandcamp, search for We Studio Records, and it's got all the stuff that we've released. All the stuff that I've released on my record label in the last couple of years. So hop on there. All the Pete and Diesel stuff's there, Abigail's stuff there, the Iain's tracks are there, some Face the West there. If you want to buy some physical stuff or stream some stuff, yeah, hop on. It's in March, but not this year. There we go. March next year, hopefully. It's an absolute riot. So let's watch this. Let's see. So this is the old drums I've got here. That's why it's muted. Bass, electric piano, synth, Oh no, I missed that like. What a shame. Can I refresh? Oh well, whoever that was, thank you very much. So I got bass guitar, or it's be a bass synth, electric piano, another synth, some strings, Game Boy. Now this is probably the favorite thing I've ever made. It's not made out of a Game Boy, but it's made to sound like a Game Boy. Wait till you hear that. Electric guitars. So we should have a few of these. Yep. So I've got guitar funk 1, guitar funk 2, and dist, which I think means distortion. We'll check that out. Then Vox middle 8. Chorus. So I'm guessing these are the vocals for the chorus. It's been a while since I listened to this. New Vox, which means the new vocals. The latest version of the singing. Then we go down to the nitty gritty stuff here. So let's look over here. So chorus, which looks like I'm not using anymore. Audio 1, we don't need to see that. That's just a connection thing. Master channel, click for staying in time, and then we've got drums from R. Drums R means drums from Rory. Hello, it's my first time here. Looking forward to seeing what you do with mixing drums. Oh, Elena, thank you very much. Where are you from? What are you up to? Please let us know. Please, I see you on Facebook. Hop on over to Twitch and that Guitar Kid 17. Thank you very much for following. What a legend. Yeah, come on over to Twitch and join the chat. It's nice and busy, and it's a lot of fun. Come over to Twitch and click follow. That is where it's at. So I'll be putting some streams on Facebook, but I'll be putting all of the streams on Twitch. So Twitch is where it's at. If you want to be a super fan, Twitch. Okay, so well, let's have a listen to the track as it is. Why not? Let's start from the beginning. Let me know what you think.
One way, just wasting my time. Pick a fight with the Monday, you can wait in the line.
I'm pretty good, that Guitar Kid 17. Pretty good. Thanks for asking. That's very nice of you.
I can feel that's broken, and I can feel that's broken. Sometimes in life, you know you're hurting. When it comes down to us, I just fine.
All right, Andy, thank you for liking the stream. You guys hearing that track okay? Hearing my voice? Sound check going all right so far?
I can feel that's broken, and I can feel that's broken. Sometimes in life, when it comes down to us, I just find.
This is such an interesting track. This is such a good one. Lots of experiments in here. Yeah, I can hear you, thanks. Sounding good, thank you very much, Andy. Thank you, I will go onto Twitch and follow you there as well. I do mostly Scottish folk music, singing in both Scots and Gaelic. I live in Oxfordshire just now, as I can't afford to come back to Scotland at the moment. Well, it's amazing to hear, Alina. We'd love to hear some of your music if you've got it about. We'll hop it up and have a listen. Lemons McBackflip, what a name. Sounds grand, pal. Sweet, thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for the sound check, chat. Right, you ready for it? You ready for the Game Boy? Listen to this. Marks out of 10. right? Many marks for that. Wilson never let me hear this one. Well, tough, Mr. Ian Wilson. They're hearing it now. There's loads of cool things with delays and distortions and pitch shifting going in the background. This is a busy one. Very spacey, right? False sense of security. Back in it, boys and girls.
Why is life always one way? Just wasting my time. Pick a fight with the Monday. You can wait in the line. Now I think about it one day with you.
This is class. Thank you, Chris
I can feel that's broken. And I can feel that's
Everything.
broken.
Wow. Okay, cool. This is the first time I've heard it properly in probably a year. So this is a long process. Obviously, lockdown paused everything, especially because a lot of the people on my record label do not live on this island. So teamwork makes the stream work. Teamwork makes the stream work. Okay, so maybe you were in Renee's. Right, gotcha. Welcome to the stream. I won't say who it is. Yes, mate. Afternoon, Sean. If you would like to hear some of my music, please visit www.elinapiras.com. There you will find links to SoundCloud, YouTube, etc. My band page is Alina's Pira Music. I will definitely check that out. I'll hop straight on there. That's class, man. That's class. Like you and your smart car. What a legend. No, I've got you now. Add me as a friend, Add me as a friend. Here, my bad was recommended to you. To your album when the restrictions are lifted. How would we go about contacting you? Yeah, you just did. You're here. When are you free? When are you free, that guitar kid? Hop on the ferry. Well, when you're allowed. Lemons and backflip now following. Yes, I've made it. You found me. I found you too. Just check your stream out. Samuel. Okay, so here we are. I'm having problems with this vocal. Oh yeah, this vocal, the delay is way too high on it for just now because of this tape machine here. It takes a lot of resources, so I'm just going to make it inactive. It doesn't make that much difference, but it'll free up resources so we can get busy. Emotes, happy days. So yeah, yesterday's my first full day as a Twitch affiliate, which means yeah, I've made it, guys. I made the big time. But it's all thanks to you, all thanks to my lovely followers and fans. Chrissy Smith has liked the stream. Thank you very much. How's that guitar treating you, by the way, the acoustic? It's amazing. Do you want to see it? Hold on. Here it is. So this is my new guitar. This is like dream guitar. I'll take this off. Do you like it? This is called a Loudon. It's a Loudon 025 or 025. I'm not sure. This guitar is class. This guitar is just the business, by the way. Won't lie, the black tuning pegs. Yeah, that's cool. Isn't it? I don't know what key it's in. Hold on. It's a bit out of tune, but... That guitar is a good name. It's honestly, this is like the from our Celtic brothers and sisters from the island of Ireland. This bad boy, and see for the like trad stuff I do. This is heaven, absolutely heaven. I'm gonna put it back before I break it, before I break my neck. It's a very nice looking guitar. It is Open Horizon. Thank you very much. Anyone's welcome to borrow it, by the way, if you want to pop right. So I got that guitar on purpose with no DI in it, with no pickup, because I don't want it to leave the building. I just swing over to Stornoway on my way to Tesco. Yeah, well, funny you should mention that. Tesco is halfway between the ferry and here. It's a 10-minute walk, like. Beastly big, yeah, nice low end. Yeah, so I was saying, I'm a Twitch affiliate now, so it means I can actually do this properly, I suppose. You can start like subscribing and stuff and sending bits. I have to look into it more, but I have to wait for some like US tax forms to clear. I think that takes a couple of days. No subscribe option yet. No, I looked into it. I looked into it yesterday. I've got to wait for that to clear. It takes a couple of days, and you get in touch with Twitch support, and they're like, "How long did you wait?" I'm like 24 hours. It says it happened in a couple of minutes, and then they're like, "You got to wait 48 hours." So it's like a missing persons case in a detective series at the moment. So yeah, just gonna hang out with you guys till that happens. How's that sound? So yeah, I was explaining today. I was installing clouds above me, big insulation things, to sort out an 80 hertz dip, and it's just smoothed it out. So my monitoring system is just heaven now. I can trust it. It's fairly quick though, Keith. Took a day or so for me. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Toby boy, welcome back to the stream. So that was the same for me too. Only took a day too. Well, we'll see. I think it's a day and a half for me, but so far. But we'll get there in the end, boys. Nothing simple in my life. So the first thing I'm going to do, right, a tidy stream's a happy stream. So I'm going to just make some colors. So it's much more interesting for you. Plus I can find things quicker. And I do this by like synth. What do I feel a synth is going to be like? Let's go for some kind of blue. Strings. What is the strings color? Get coloring. Toby, what would you say if you had to say strings were a color? What color would you pick? I'm not doing it till you come back to me, so don't hang around. Yes, love it when people take care of the color coding. Magenta. What is magenta? Is that kind of red? Pink vibe. Purpley pink. Oh, like this? Is that kind of it? Is that more ruby? We'll go with that. Close enough. Thank you. Game Boy. Game Boy. We'll go orange for Game Boy. Yellow. Okay, yellow. Isn't this fun? So let's do all the electric guitars the same color. I'll get confused. Let's put the guitars. What would we do the guitars? This is music production, isn't it? Isn't it? This is better than video games. Whatever else is watching, anyone else is watching. What will we do for guitars, guys? Some of your best work. Come on, Sean. Hit a color. Never mind making tracks sound good. That's what they say, isn't it? Looks good is good. Cherry red. There we go. Whoa, that was drastic. Okay, so we've got vocals here, middle 8, chorus, and this vocal. So I think what we'll do is have one color but slightly different shades for the vocals. What do you think? Pete Bog Brown, what are your rates? My walls need some production work. Crack. So let's put like greeny for the vocals because we've not done much greeny stuff. So let's go that chorus, that ugly one there. The middle 8. We'll go with this one. And this vocals will go lime. This chorus I don't think I'm even using. I'll put it after there. But we'll just check. Then we've got drums. What are you saying, boys? What are we doing for drums? I'm just going to group it so I can put it to waveform. There we go. Drums. Black. Can you do black? Is there black? No, this is what I've got. Or can I do this? Oh, that's cool, does it there? I never knew that. I can do like a dark blue. Just very dark. All right, that'll do. So here we are. So the drums are after my master channel and everything because I just slapped them on later, but that's not what you do. That's not what you do. So here, well, let's do a comparison for the crack. So we've got Rudy's drums here, or Rory's drums here, and we've got my keyboard drums here. So let's listen to my keyboard drums first. It's me tippity tapping on a MIDI keyboard. Right? It's lit, innit? Okay. And they got replaced, never to be heard again, by this. Yes, Rory Neal, our boy. Hit it at the park, I reckon. That's not very nice. Savage. Right, who chose red, man? These electric guitars here are just like, hello, how you doing? That's funky, man. That's funky. Kid's got style. All right. So everything else has kind of like been pre-mixed anyway. I was mixing on the way. Iain Mackay's like the stream. Sounding good in here, Mr. Mackay. Sounding good in here. Thank you very much for your help. I've got headphones on, so I can't really tell at the moment, but it was sounding good earlier. So what I've got is, this is what I started with, an electric piano, probably from my Nord. So, how me and Iain would write songs, I can't remember exactly how this one came about, but sometimes he'd come with some lyrics with very basic guitar chords. Thank you, Mr. Hart. Thank you for following and liking. What a lad. Sometimes he'd come with some lyrics, some basic chords and a basic melody, and I'd use my bit more experience with theory and chords and harmonies and stuff to embellish it or change the vibe from a singer-songwriter song into something funky or something synth-wavy or just whatever style I felt like that morning. It was a really, really creative process for me. Lots of control, and I really enjoyed it. But I'm not sure what happened with this. I think we started with this riff. I think this was the catalyst. And then Iain was in the room with me, and we'd go backwards and forwards with some lyrics and some melodies and stuff. Some boys, thank you very much. I'd probably put the bass on next. So the bass would have been my Moog grandmother. My second favourite synth in the world. My favourite is my Juno 6, which is the only keyboard in the studio that stays up on its stand 24/7. The others I bring in as I need them. But I used the Moog for this bass. Let's listen to it. Which needs a wee bit of EQing to make sure it doesn't get to fill up too much space in the low end and the low notes. But what do you think? Do you like? So let's hear the electric piano and the bass together. This would have been the vibe that we made the song on. Beautiful, thank you very much. The rubbery, bouncy, chewy, thick, delicious biz. Hello, Sweeben. Welcome back. Yeah. So that's sounding good. There's loads of clashing frequencies there I need to sort out. But so far, so good, right? I'm not sure what this synth is. Let's listen to it. I can't remember. Oh, that's the Juno. That's the Juno 6. Through, it would have been through a distortion. And a reverb too. So let's listen to all them three together. Let's listen to this vibe. Africa. So if you can hear the electric piano's playing the melody, so that would have been everyone's getting the Africa vibes. I think it's the correct chords as well, is it? Complete rip-off. And then I've got a string section here. It's kind of rhythmic. Now this is a cool plugin. Didn't Boydie help on the album? Hello, Mark Graham 27A. That's a wee bit of insider knowledge you got there. How'd you get that kind of information, huh? How'd you get that kind of information? Did Boydie help on this album? Yes, he did. Sounds really decent for the string VST, yeah. So that one is, let me hook up Native Instruments Action Strings. Cool, that's cool. So what's weird about this one is it doesn't do like single notes, like long ones. Cookies, yeah, why not? It does like rhythms. So they got the orchestra to do the rhythm, and then it like it time stretches what you need to where you need. So it's kind of like playing samples. It's really handy. Let's see if you can. Might as well watch it together. Learn something.
Welcome to Action Strings, a playable, interesting new arrangement.
Just play it.
Nations.
Just play it.
Phrase.
Just play it. There we go. So you choose
Easily
what you want,
step
and then
through
it
the
does the
phrases
rhythm.
and select the perfect one.
Makes it
You'll
really
find single pitch rhythms,
legit, you know.
descending figures,
It's cool, huh?
arpeggios available in both major and minor keys, tremolo phrases, triplet phrases with authentic slur articulations, rhythmic tremolos, and even legato phrases impossible to reproduce with a standard sample instrument.
Indeed.
Explore the
you all
low
learning?
ensemble, which also contains a large variety of phrases, which combine perfectly with those in the higher register.
So you're watching like Marvel movies and stuff, right? And you're thinking, wow, it's some genius hitting one key.
Once you found
But hey, if it works. So that's what this is. And together, that backing sounds like this. Glass man. Have you seen the Spitfire Audio Orchestra plugin? I've got a couple of Spitfire things, Jack. I've got some solo strings. I've got an old one called Albion, which is huge. I use them quite frequently too. I'd like to get more, but I just don't get that much opportunity to use strings, to be honest. I'd love to compose much bigger things. I'm actually in touch with an incredible guy who was writing. He's composing for, his name's Carlos, what a dude. He's composing for a film that I was working on. I recorded some music for it that happened up here. And yeah, it's been a real insight into like an actual composer with like proper feature films and everything. and the first thing I'm asking is like, what plugins are you using? What's your mixing situation? Do you use real orchestras? Things like that. It's been fascinating. I'd love to do that, but these plugins are expensive, so I can't really buy too much of them unless I've got a way to make money back. And it's really hard to get strings and stuff, especially big strings. Like, it's hard to sell to a client if they've come in with a double row accordion and you want to go da 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 with strings in the background, Da, 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 da. I feel like how the checkout people must have felt when they made self scanners. Just bleep bleep bleep. So what you're saying is you want to bring Stornoway into the MCU. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? They've done everything else. Did you watch WandaVision? They can do whatever they want now. They can do whatever they want, and it'll be amazing. Abigail says she'll do the string section for free. All right, sold. For coffee. Same part 10 times. There we go. Done. My little rooms will sound like an orchestra chamber with a wee bit of reverb. No bother. So that's all the cool synthy parts. So let's listen to me struggle to play guitar. You like? Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you for liking the stream. There you go. That's me trying to be funky. It's as funky as I'm able to get.
To shine. It's all control. Can you tell me I'm right?
There you go. I felt rather smart when I did that. So the guitar I play most for electric stuff, I'll show you. Hold on 2 seconds. It means a lot to me. So this is actually, this is my mother's guitar. This is a Fender Telecaster. And it's nearly as old as I am. Or probably maybe as old as I am. I don't know. It was made in the 80s anyway. And yeah, it's a classic. It's all nice and rusted. It was left in a garage. It's paid its dues. It's played all the favourite venues of Stornoway many times. I do love my Sunburst, yeah. I'm a classic kind of guy. Played the Clachan, Zebos, the Max, the Carlton, the Whalers, the Lewis Bat, the Crown, the Legion, the Sea Angling, Golf Club. What have I missed? McNeil's. Class venues, right? This one's seen it all. It's seen every single bar fight, every single glass thrown across the side. It's got scratches, it's got dents, and this is my mother's guitar, and I love it dearly. It's one of the ones that was made in Japan. See that? Well, you can't really read it, but it says made in Japan there. And the action on this, honestly, it's my favorite guitar. It's just my favorite guitar. I can play things in this guitar that I can't really get around playing on other ones. So yeah, this one's. I mean, I've got lots of electric guitars here, but 9 times out of 10, if I'm recording, it's this one. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. So that was gifted from Fiona, my mother, to the studio. She knows where it is. She can come and get it whenever she wants. But it's a workhorse. It's on. If you hear electric and it's not obviously like a Les Paul or a hollow body or something like that, then that's the chances are it's that bad boy. So let's hear it doing some more funky stuff here. I've written guitar funk, Jupe 1, guitar funk, Jupe 1, Jupe 2. Chances are there's not much funk about it, but we'll see. There you go. Lovely and thin. Fits though, I think. And there's one guitar at the end I don't think I'm using it until the very end. Oh, so this guitar is to go with my Game Boy sound. So I'm going to solo the guitar and solo the Game Boy, so you can hear it in its beauty, man. This is me playing both. So if I was a band, this is what I would sound like. And then I'm sending it through a shimmer. Where is it? Here it is. I'm sending it through a shimmer effect at the very end there. Lovely bit crushed sound that. Yeah, I wonder if I'm bit crushing it. I can't remember. Sometimes when I'm working, I'll commit. If I've got loads of plugins on one thing, I'll just commit it to a waveform like this. It just helps me move on. It helps me go, I'm done. This is the way I want it to sound like. Commit it, hide the old one, free up resources, and that's the sound. So who knows? It does sound Brit crushed, doesn't it? And I think that's it. Apart from some vocals, that's the track. So this is totally dry. I've not, apart from making the effects and stuff, I've not really mixed the tracks to be mixed together. It's at the stage where I've mixed it to, I've mixed each track to sound good and then moved on. It's kind of like half mixing, half producing, half writing, 1.5 of a song. So let's listen to the drums. We better get cracking at that. Here's the drum. Are you going to master them as well? Yes. I am. Dagga dagga.
Why is life always one way? Just wasting my time. Pick a fight with the Monday. You can wait.
First thing I'm going to do is hide the old drums. Get them out the road.
Why is life always
So you can see here, I've already got 2 plugins in. I've got just an EQ plugin in each. I can get rid of this one because I'm not using it. But this one here, this is the mic that's underneath the snare. So snare bottom. Channel 2 is snare top. Channel 3 is snare bottom. And those mics, one is on top and one is on bottom. Well, kind of like that. And when you hit a drum, the skins move up and down. So if the skin's moving up, it means that the membrane inside the microphone is going to move up. But the one underneath, if the membrane's moving up, this one's going to be doing the opposite. So this membrane will be extending out, the top membrane will be crushing in. So they'll be doing the opposite thing, these microphones. So what you do is this button here inverts the phase. So instead of the snare drum frequencies getting cancelling out because the microphones are doing pretty much the opposite, it adds the frequencies together. So if we listen to it and invert the phase, you should hear it getting thinner and then thicker. So it should be thick just now. Let's have a listen. And then when I press it, it'll get thinner. Here it get thinner. And then back the other way. And then the other way. Thin. See? When you've got no idea that was even a thing, there's so much stuff that you should know as an engineer, recording engineer versus a mixing engineer. These days we put lots of hats on, but if you get things right in the recording stage, it makes mixing so much easier. Or if you know what you're doing based on phasing and things like that. The danger with drums is that you have loads of microphones in the same room. So this is another danger apart from the opposite things. A bit like filming versus editing. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. If you get something that looks horrible, there's only so much you can do to repair it, right? Same with audio, same with photos, same with anything really, I suppose. If you've got different stages of people working on it. But with drums, you've got lots of things making a noise, lots of different drums. So you've got lots of different points of sound. Then you've got lots of different microphones. And if there's two microphones getting the same thing, the microphones aren't going to be the same distance away from that thing. They're just not. So there's going to be a delay in time from getting from like the snare drum that you hit from the snare microphone, which is close, and then from the overhead microphone, which is far away. So how you get around that is you just play around until you get a fuller sound, a better sound. Or if you're quite clever and you're moving the overheads to make the snare drum sound good, you can get it so that it sounds the thinnest and most horrible that you can. And then in the editing phase or on the mixing desk, you can flip the phase. And then you know that if you physically moved it to the worst place, when you flip it upside down, it's going to be the best place for something that's back to front. Surely like a microscopic delay though, right? No, you'd be surprised. Like in terms of audio, sound moves slow. The air is gloopy for sound. It's audible. It's actually audible. You hear it. Once you put it on, it thins it out because of the distance. And even if there's like a 10 meters difference, there's an audible delay between hitting and going. That's off-putting unless you try and make it kind of special. All right, Ali Gigi, thank you very much for liking the stream. How's the box playing going? So, yeah, that's really interesting. You're always fighting phasing, the difference in time hitting each microphone. And that's for anything. Like imagine if you've got somebody singing and playing guitar at the same time. The sound of your voice will hit your vocal microphone but before it hits your guitar microphone. So that might be making it thin and horrible. So you got to play around with that. You got to work with that. And sometimes you have to make decisions to be the best compromise of the things you're trying to do. So yeah, drums are a nightmare like that. Steve Albini has a technique that's very clever. He gets 2 room microphones and he puts them on the ground. And he puts them as far away from the drums as he can in the room. He measures the distance. He figures out how long it takes the sound to go from the drum to the room microphone. And then when he's mixing, he puts a delay on to double the time, because his theory is like once you hit the snare drum, that sound goes to the end wall, hits off the wall, and then comes back to your ears. And that's what makes it sound good. So that's why he doubles the time, and he puts it on the ground. So there's no reflections apart from the ground, but it hits the ground and then hits the microphone instantly. So you don't get any like early reflections hitting off the ceiling or hitting off the floor if it's up on a stand. Just genius stuff. The guy's really clever. So sometimes I do that for a laugh. What do you think of the Dan Electro Babysitter? I don't know. Let's have a look. Dan Electro Babysitter. Is this the one? Oh boy. So much going into this, pure science, yeah. It's weird having to be scientific, mathematic, creative all at the same time. Wow, look at this beast. How many strings? Just 6 strings, so it's just a guitar. I think my mate Colin's got a guitar from these guys, like a cool plasticky one. You wanting a shot on one? Yeah, always. Looks cool. We got Boydie from Pete and Diesel a guitar, which has been a game changer, especially over lockdown. What is it called? A pig face? Is that what it is? Someone help me out here. It's got a speaker in it. Aye. No. What is it called? Guitar. Electric guitar with speaker in it. Let's find it. Because this is what we searched for. So Boydie fishes a lot and he finds it hard to play guitar on the fishing boat because he needs an amp He needs a guitar, he needs a lead, he needs power, all that stuff. And that any kind of faff, as you probably all know, any kind of faff like slows down creativity. The less faff, the more you get done with the speaker in it. Pig nose? Is it pig nose? There we go. What did I say? Pig face? There we go. So let's find it. Aye, this is the one. I don't think we got him a sunburst one. I think he has a different colour, but yeah, this is the guitar that Boydie's making everything on at the moment. So he can bring this fishing, he can throw this in the back of the van and go anywhere. It's just battery powered, and it's got a speaker in it, and you just ramp up the volume and it's distorting, and he's good to go. So yeah, I haven't had a go of it, and I haven't heard it yet. I've only seen it on at the beginning of lockdown. I only saw some videos of it walking along the pier with his fishing boat, like jamming out on this guitar. Is that full size? Yeah, it is. I think it's obviously a small body, but yeah, the neck's full size neck. Yeah, in terms of creativity, because if you give him an acoustic to write songs on, they won't turn out Pete and Diesel songs, because he's used to like rocking out with distortion. It needs mental distortion. So I mean, we were looking at the little like Marshall amps that you clip on and battery powered and stuff, but it's just faff. It's just extra stuff. So that guitar's just ready to go. You turn the volume knob and you start playing. So much like the refaces with the inbuilt speakers, removes the barriers. Yeah, I've got 2 refaces, as you know. I've got 3 now. So yeah, the reface synths are my recommendation to anyone that wants to get into playing synths but doesn't really care about having full size keys and just wants to jam out. So you get this is the best one, the CS.
We're all doing some things.
Especially if you want to learn how to use synths. Only seeing the full prices though. Yeah, keep your eye out, man. Keep your eye out. You're welcome to borrow mine, Samuel. You're welcome to borrow mine. So yeah, this is my favourite one, and it's a subtractive synth. This is very like the Juno, actually. Right, Dr. Mix. So there's like no presets in it, so all the knobs like do something, but there's the exact mount that you need to do loads and loads of stuff, and it's not a monosynth, so you can hit loads of things, and it's got a looper as well, so you can jam out to yourself.
We can change the
It's cool, huh? And you can put batteries in it, and they've got like these amazing speakers here, and the keys feel fun, you know, they feel good, they don't feel like they hinder you. So I've got the CS, I've got the DX, this is it here. Wonder if we'll get another advert. Of course, oh no, we won't. Play some music. So this is kind of like the Yamaha DX7. That guy can play, man. And then I've got another one, the Yamaha CP, which is like an electric piano version of it. I could go to a gig with just these 3 keyboards and have a fantastic time. Anyway, where were you? You guys are distracting me. So snares. Let's listen to the drums as they are. So that's why I inverted the face in the bottom snare. So we've got tom 1, tom 2, and tom 3. So the first thing I'll do is I'll clean up. Tidy. A tidy project is a happy project. So I'm looking here at tom 1, 2, and 3. That'll be the first rack tom, second rack tom, and the floor tom in that number. And I'm looking for Rory playing it, and I'm going to gate it. So all you hear is the hit and nothing else. That's what I'm looking for. So he goes, I'm going to raise the floor drum so it's easy to see. So he goes, first rack, floor. So we get to play with 2 here for this little fill. Thank you, Callum, for liking the stream. Please come to Twitch if you want to and come hang out here. Chat with the chat. Have a nice chill afternoon with Wii Studio. So the gate I'm going to choose is Slate Digital's one. I like this one because it's got a wee bit. It's it's got some more features, but it's also quick and easy to throw in the presets. Here it is, gate drums. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to put the virtual channel on every channel to get the saturation of this, but its end is an Eve desk, so it's going to make it kind of warm. It kind of saturates the low end nicely, this one, and I kind of want that because this track is going to be dry. I'm not going to have much reverb and high end kind of sizzle. I want this to be tight, funky. So let's listen. We've soloed the first tom, and all we want is to hear these two hits and nothing else. That's working. There we go. And we'll do something similar for this tom here since it's sitting. And I'm just going to hold Alt on this plugin and drag it over to the other one. And then we've got the same settings. Let's see if it worked. We might have to play with this detection here. Cool, that's working. So now we won't hear any of this. We won't hear any of these two microphones until, oops, let's not drag it, until the toms are hit. Genuinely learning so much from these streams, man. Good. Honestly, that's amazing. That's really nice to hear. Cool. And then I'm going to pan them. So because this isn't on video, because this isn't a live thing, I'm going to pan these drums imagining that I'm sitting at the drum kit because I'm an absolute control freak. Hello, June. Thank you very much for liking the stream. Please come to Twitch if you're at Facebook. Twitch is where it's at. It's nice and chill. Come out, hang out with everybody. Yeah, I'm a control freak and I want to imagine I'm playing every single instrument I'm hearing. It's quite apt for this because I pretty much am, apart from the drums, but I'm going to pretend. So for the first drum here, I'm going to pan nearly all the way to the left. And for the third tom, I'm going to pan nearly all the way to the right. And for the second tom, I'm going to leave it in the middle. So what you hear now is do, do, do. There we go. And this low tom's a bit quiet, so let's hear. Cool. Binaural mic and all. Yeah, that'd be a quick and easy way to mix drums, wouldn't it? Does it sound good when you're sitting there? Right, let's replace your head with a microphone in it. So the only one we've got to worry about now is is tom 2. But I'm going to pull over the same settings, and it should be similar. There we go, ready to go. Sweet. Everyone happy with that? Sound like toms, right? Fab. You can put gates on the kick and on the snare. So let's do that. Let's not touch the snare because my friend Rory is a very, what's the right word? Dynamic player. Like he's got softs and louds and everything in between. He's good at making it talk. So it's hard to gate that if he's doing gentle stuff. He is a jazzer, to be fair. Yeah, an incredible drummer. So we don't want to lose any of his nice gentle hits. So we don't care about the bleed in between. We'll deal with that. See, if I zoom in to this snare here, you can see there's gentle hits and then a hard hit. I don't want to ruin that. I want to keep that as is. And see, this gentle hit isn't that much louder than a kick. So I'm just going to leave it. The frequencies that kick is making through that microphone, I don't care about. I'm just going to treat it as part of the kick. So I recorded these snare drums with a condenser mic. Octava, let's see, Octava MK012. Hey there. Really affordable mics. Mine are not that color, but that's them there. So you put the capsule, screw it on top. These mics are from Russia. So if you're wondering, by the way, you've got to be careful. Russian microphones, or these ones at least, are wired back to front. So if you're playing with phasing with other microphones that aren't Russian microphones, you got to keep that in mind. They're automatically flipped, which you might lose an afternoon like I did trying to figure that out. Just in case, I saved you some time there. So that's a snare microphone, which gets you a lovely tone straight away, but you get a bit more bleed. So that's why we're getting a lot of kick. We're getting a lot of kick in it, but I don't care. I'm happy to let things bleed and blend the drums with the other bleed. Makes it while listening to microphones rather than trying to get everything super clean and on its own channel. So this is the overheads that we're listening to. They're pretty cool. So the overheads are, I'm going to show you the overheads actually, because it's a mic I love. So I've had, how do we kit that? Yeah, I've had millions of microphones. I've bought and sold, tried loads, loads of cheap ones, loads of medium price ones, a few expensive ones I've liked and sometimes I've not. Now this microphone is my greatest achievement of buying and selling microphones and seeing what like. This microphone costs something like £80 and it's from Thomann. A T-Bone RB500, and I show everyone this, right? I love this microphone. I love how it looks. It's a ribbon microphone, which means it tames the high end. But I've had other ribbon microphones that get rid of too much high end, and I find them unusable. I've had some ribbon microphones that don't sound like a ribbon microphone, and this one is just tuned nice. I like them so much. I own 4 of these. So I use these for anything that will, anything that sounds harsh to your ear. A really good rule of thumb that I use all the time is whatever you're hearing, use the opposite microphone. So this mic, yeah, it doesn't look like an 80 quid one. Yeah, it's bulky. It's fab. So yeah, the rule of thumb I really like is use the opposite microphone. So if you're recording something that's kind of dull and needs much more bite, or if you're playing if you're recording someone that's playing a wee bit nervously and they need a wee bit more confidence and aggression, you can choose a microphone that is bitey, pushes it to the front. If this microphone is amazing if you're in the room listening to the source and it's making your eyes close a wee bit to compensate. Yeah, absolutely. So this is all about balance. Mixing is balancing, right? Mixing is getting everything talking to each other and nothing being to anything, really. So this is good for anything kind of harsh or high pitched. So we're talking if you want to close mic a violin or a fiddle or a distorted guitar amp that's a bit woohoo when you're right in front of it. So I use these for the overheads on the drums because it tames the cymbals and you get so much more of the other drums. And how I like to mix drums is to have the overheads as the main thing and just augment the overhead sound with the close mics. For most types of music that I work on, sometimes I want to do totally different and just smash the close mics. It just depends on the genre. But for this kind of funky thing, I wanted it to sound acoustic. I wanted it to sound like it was in the room because I thought it would suit the vibe that me and Iain were going for. So this is the overheads here. And where you put the overheads is really important as well. Most people would imagine that you put the overheads like over the head. You can do that. But I don't like doing that because I get too much cymbals and I don't get enough of the drums that are getting hit. I don't want separation. I want it to sound like a full drum kit. I want to be able to get away with just having overheads and nothing else. See? Like that's not a terrible sound to work with. You can get away with that. But if I'd put If I put the overheads just above, it turns into like a cymbal mic really. So what I do is I put these mics behind, kind of angled down like that for the whole kit. Normally you find like toms and even the snare are kind of angled. So I kind of get this at the same angle, one on either side of the drummer coming down. That's what I did for this. Sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes I do a stereo pair in front of the drums. Sometimes I do an XY right in the middle of the drums. And it all depends on who the drummer is. It depends on the style of music, the aesthetic you're going for. It depends on how the drums sound. Some drums are more violent than others. Some are talk more. It depends on how thick the sticks are. It depends what room you're in. And it depends on the track you're adding it on. So all these decisions are going round in my head when I'm choosing what to do with what microphone. But this is my most common one. Condenser mics in the snare and ribbons for the overheads. And then you get this to work with. And if you were here yesterday, I was mixing Heron Valley's live show. Maddie McLean, thank you very much for following. What I did. I was doing the live show that Heron Valley are playing at. So I mixed that live on stream. And I got really good stems recorded in a hall. But one of the microphones was a hi-hat microphone. A mic on a hi-hat. I just deleted it straight away. I didn't even listen to it. I don't use hi-hat microphones. I just don't. I find that there's so much hi-hat in my overhead that I just go with that. And you can hear here, there's plenty. How do you manage to maintain the ear thump of the kick drum in the whole mix without it being lost in the mud of the low end? Something I've always struggled with. That's such a good question. That is such a good question. Compression is such a big thing. The attack and the release of a compressor. All right, Mr. Wilson. Welcome to This Is Your Life. We can start making fun of your silly sounding voice now you're here. I didn't want to do it behind your back. So compression's a big thing. EQ's a big thing to tune the frequencies out. But there's a really good plugin that I use. A really good EQ plugin. And if you put that plugin on like a few sources, the plugin will give you red lines where the two things are clashing. So let's do that. I'm just going to throw it straight on. It's a really good question. So I'm going to pull this up. This is the plugin. FabFilter EQ. Well, Pro Q. That's the third one. So Pro Q3. So this will, if we press play, this is showing us the EQ of the kick drum. As you would expect, loads on the low end. Separate the frequencies. Yeah, exactly. And what's going to bother this the most is the bass guitar, or the bass synth in this case. So let's put an EQ on the bass. Here it is. So we've got them up beside each other. Thank you for following, Elena. Thank you very much. So this is the kick drum, and this is the bass guitar. We'll listen together. Oh, there's no bass yet. So let's go somewhere where there's bass. Yeah, let's go to the beginning. So I'm just going to loop this round. So you can see the two frequencies working, right? And they're both busy around here. Like if I hold the mouse here, it'll show us the peaks. That's really clever, isn't it? So you can see which notes are louder than others. So this frequency here, like 96, 97 hertz, and let's see what's bouncing here. So this is the loudest part. So that's like 66. So you might get a wee bit clashing between 60 and 90. So what you do is you go to Analyzer and then you can click bass. And it'll show us any red parts that are clashing. Okay, actually working quite well. It's not clashing because there's no red stuff. But see if I popped up 66 hertz here. for your ears. It goes red there, see? And it's like, hey, sort this out. So Daft Punk sounding. It's hard to show in this because that kick drum and that Moog are working well together, but I'll show you in the difference. It's kind of handy that they're working together. It's a good problem to have. Not being able to show you, it means we're doing okay before we even start. So that's one way to do it. If you imagine that there's loads of frequencies flying around, right? You want stuff to have its own frequency to shine, that nothing's bothering it. I kind of imagine like it's hands, and this hand's the bass and this hand's the kick. You can't see the bass, so what you want to do is you want to do that so everything's kind of like bouncing up and down in its own little space. Yeah, so essentially giving the kick drum its own space. Yeah, so if you've heard that before, giving it space, that's exactly what's happening. You can sacrifice the sound of one instrument to allow the other one to sing. And then you might do the opposite thing. You might go to the other instrument and sacrifice a bit of that to allow the first instrument to sing. And you make these choices based on where's the magic of that instrument. Like, there'll be a frequency in the kick drum that you want to boost because you can feel it. So you boost that because that's the magic of that channel. Then you go to the bass and you take it out of that and you let the bass do something somewhere else. So it's all about balancing. Sometimes you have to make things worse to make the thing as a whole better. Interesting, huh? So one big choice you would have at the beginning is, are you going to do it totally acoustic, or do you want some samples to give it some more welly too? I'm making a decision on this based on working with Rory in the past, working with Iain, knowing what kind of sound he'd really like, and I'm going to augment these with samples. So I'm going to duplicate the kick. And I'm going to call this kick sample. And I'm going to do the same with the snare. I'm going to duplicate it. So we're going to keep the original, but we're going to trigger a sample every time it gets hit, which gives us a really clean channel with no bleed. I don't want it to be obviously sampled, but I just want to make it sound more produced, and that's one quick way to do it. So let's do it first with the kick. And I'm going to bring in a plugin called Trigger. This is a quick way to get really good drums if you don't have good microphones. You just need to get it triggering like this. You need to get the waveform nice and clean. You could use like any old microphone just close, and then you could choose any drum in the world that's been recorded well. So I've got lots of different ones to choose from here. The one I really like is the Blackbird series. So there's a studio in America called Blackbird, and they made their own. And then I double click and it'll give me lots of different mics here. So there's a mic in the kick drum, there's a mic out of the kick drum, a sub mic to get low end, and it's kind of been mixed for you. So I'm going to listen to the kick drum by itself, and then we'll listen to the sample. Okay, that's a kick drum by itself, and then sample. So by itself, with a sample. Pretty cool, huh? So that's it, that's the sample. And we can allow it to come through more, and we can play with these. So that's the kick into the sample. That's the microphone outside it. So I'm going to pull the sub down a wee bit because it felt a wee bit too subby in my ears. And let's just listen to them together. Sounds like my upstairs neighbours walking about. Totes thick. So this is a good starting point, right? And we'll listen to just the drums. So now with the sample, it's got loads of low end. Or just that's sounding much more natural. So I'm just going to put them in together to augment at the beginning. Then I'm going to bring up a SSL channel, and I'm going to EQ the original one to take out some frequencies I don't like. So there's some boxy stuff in the middle I'm not liking. And I'm listening with all of the drums because there's lots of frequencies going everywhere. Give a bit more click. Now I'm going to put a filter at like 40 hertz, and I'm going to pull over the same EQ to the second one. And what I'm going to do here as well is I'm going to put that really low stuff, the neighbors walking upstairs stuff, I'm going to tame that by taking some of the really low end out. So low cut, I'll make it kind of sharp. There we go. That's sounding good to me. So another thing I'm going to do is, because I'm putting samples in, I like to take out the very, very low end of the overheads. It helps it gel a wee better. Lovely stuff. So I'm going to do the same, cut the low. Groovy stuff. So now I'm going to do the same with the snare. Actually, what I think we'll do first is I'm going to go through a couple of different samples, see if any are better. I just picked one that I know works, but that's not going to help you guys out. We'll see what the others sound like. You hearing the difference? Check that one out. Not today. That one's got a real knock to it. Do. I might go the second one. I didn't like it at first, but might be. Okay, and what I like to do with the drums as well is a clip. And I put it on 3. It's just what I do. Which makes it sound much more real. I like that plugin. JST clip. Okay, so I'm going to go to an SSL channel again. I use this plugin quite a lot. It helps me make stuff sound natural quickly. There we go. So before, just sounds a wee bit hidden and MIDI. And just kind of opens up. You've got to be careful with the snare mic because it's picking up hi-hats and stuff. And you got to keep it in mind. It might not be a big deal. Again, why I don't need a hi-hat mic, right? So there we go. So let's pull a trigger in the other snare. And there's one I love. What's it called again? It's one of these. It's really dry. I'm just going to solo it till I find it. Snare top sample. I think it's this one. And you have to set up your triggering to make sure it's hidden at the right time. See, it's not hidden very much, so I'll pull the detail down. There we go. Cool. I can pop the volume up a wee bit. So, original snare with the sample. And I'm going to put a SSL channel to tune that to my liking also. So at this stage, you're trying to make it sound real. Trying to bypass the microphone sound. That's my thoughts anyway. Okay, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to put a wee bit of compression on it. Just going to get number 3 lighting up. Putting the threshold all the way up, and then I'm just lifting the ratio until number 3 lights. That's the way I like to use this plugin. I'm going to do them both. Got to be careful. I'm pulling it back on the real drum, the real microphone and the real snare, because it's bringing up too much hi-hat for me. Hear it dry, that is an awesome, funky. Let's listen to the bottom snare. That sounds good for a bottom snare. Normally I don't like the bottom snare by itself. So I'm just going to EQ it. I'm not going to compress it. Just get a different flavor. There we go. Pull it back a bit. Sounding good now, huh? So what I'm having trouble with is the hi-hat. Too much hi-hat, even though we don't have a hi-hat mic. And I'm going to mute the overhead to see if that solves the problem. See if it's there. It's not. The whole problem is it goes away when I mute the snare. Too much hi-hat. So I'm going to pull back the high end on this one. And I'm going to bring in a multi-band compressor. So I don't want it to touch the snare drum, but every time there's a hi-hat hit, I want it to recognize it and pull it down. So that'll just be the top end. There we go. So before, you have a really crisp hi-hat, and then afterwards, it tames it. So it should sound better. I don't think I'm going to put any reverb on this entire song. That's a decision I'm making, an aesthetic decision. I want it to be tight up front. Really unique sound. I'm really tempted, but I'm not doing it. So I'm hearing kind of, I want it tighter. It was killing me. Okay, sound better. I'm going to make it tighter with some compression. I'm just going to use the CLA 1176 right across the board on everything, apart from the hi-hats. So I want this to work fast. Just bring it down a couple of dB. It doesn't even need to be mental. And if we drag this across to the next kick, it should do something similar. Lovely. So always like bypass it, see what you're doing, bring it back. Yeah, there we go. So that's bringing that to life. Quite a bit. There's maybe a wee bit too much low end on this. There we go. It's a lot tighter now. Oh, that's awesome. I am happy with that. Now we've lost the toms a wee bit, so I'm going to put the compressor on that. Let that come back to life. And I'm going to put the clip on it too. Up 3 lights. It's going to be a wee bit more brave with the volume of the toms. Now I need to EQ the toms so they cut. So they cut through. SSL channel. Now once I EQ one, it should be similar on the others, I think. Let's find that first one. Okay, so let's loop that. Let's get a bit of bite. Way too much top end, let's see. That's better. Take out some of the subby low stuff. There you go. That sounds like it's part of the drum kit now. Rather than just hitting the background. This one's got a frequency I don't like. You hearing it? Doo-doo. So where would that be? That's much better. So I've taken loads out of like 280 hertz. I just made it sound not real. It's just the placement of the microphone on the drum. I think it needs a wee bit more bite compared to the other ones too. There we go. That sounds good enough. So now I'm going to step back and have a wee listen to everything as is. How are we doing? When you are highlighting, is that just running the SSL on the waveform or on the whole track? So I'm highlighting for your benefit. The highlighting doesn't do anything. I was just like opening up the channel and then I was highlighting the channel that I'm listening to so you guys can hear it. But what that also does is this highlighting here, it sets my loop points. And then I'll loop around, which I don't do very often. I stop it a lot, but multi reasons why I'm doing that. But you know what? I do that even when you're not here. I do that when I'm by myself. Keeps me focused on what I'm looking at. Get distracted, you know. So now I'm just playing with the volume of the toms to make it fit. Everything's dry. There's no reverb or anything on this, and I'm loving it. Very unique, I think. Oh, that needs more bite, I think. Especially because it's by itself at the beginning. Oh, the drums sound good now. You can hear all the ghosts. Everything that Rory does has a meaning to it. Little hi-hats here and there. Gentle doo-doo-doo-doo on toms. I want everything to be super obvious, super audible. Not hidden. Last thing I'm going to do is put a multi-band compressor on the master of the drums. Help gel it with the rest of the track. I'm really happy with this. This snare needs more, needs to be tighter, this second one. Now, I like the sample, but it's just lasts too long. Goes do, do. So I'm going to go to curves, and if you see in here, you can tell it how long to last. So it's sustain we need to get rid of. So that's the fun thing about working with samples. You can actually tune the drums or change its decay, change how long it lasts. It's really handy. There you go.
You never need to run.
Tighter.
We'll cry.
But I wanted to sound real. I wanted to sound like a drum kit would sound in the room that we recorded it in. Because it sounded good. When we were here recording the drums, listening to the track, it sounded good as is. So a lot of this is trying to replicate that sound that you're standing in the room rather than trying to create something that isn't there. And you've got to imagine, right? Imagine you're the drummer and you're playing. Is this a satisfying sound that you're creating when you're hitting it? That's important. That's how subconsciously, when you give it to the audience, they're happy with it. Again, I'm not so happy with this second snare. It lasts too long. I'm going to try and change the sample. Tried fixing it. It didn't work. Let's try a different sample. Might have no sample. Might work for this. Okay, that might work if we get rid of the effects. Get rid of the room mic. We'll get rid of the chamber mics. Get rid of the overhead mic and the effects mic. That's better. Blended with. I'm much happier with that. I want it brighter though. I want it to have some bite. Let's hear it blended with the others. Okay, now I think I'm just compressing it too much. I'll bring it down. There's something I want though. Maybe it's this. I need it. I'm going to pull in a separate EQ. Just find that frequency I really want. I'm looking for realism. Okay. So I'm going to put the compressor back on to tame it. That sounds real. There's something in the kick I don't like. Maybe it's the room noises. There we go. Nice! Okay, I'm liking all this. There's just some stuff happening in the master channel. I'm turning it off just now. Okay, there's lots of effects. Let's go back to the beginning. I'm going to focus on the bass with the drums. Paul McLean, liking the stream. Thank you very much, my friend. Thanks for coming along this journey. We are mixing Iain Wilson's album, which is mostly done. Just lots of final mixing going on. I like that frequency. Reminds me of Daft Punk. So I'm going to leave that there. I like that as is. That was the wrong one. Not that plug-in, please. I'm going to put the clip on it to give it. the clip plugin's good for a wee bit of realism, a wee bit of bite. Hear the difference. Hear the difference is one plugin, so bypassed. And then on. Sweetbin, when is subscribe button appearing? Thank you very much for the support, Sweetbin. So it's a waiting. What's the word? It's a waiting review. So I had to put in lots of details for payment options and stuff like that. So I've got to wait for probably some poor human working from home because of coronavirus to check out the details, and then I'll fire it on. So I'm waiting on Twitch, like. I'm loving that. Let's add the piano. The piano is clashing with the bass. Neither of them are enjoying the other one's company. So I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to analyze the bass while the electric piano's playing, and we'll see what notes are clashing. Let's mix with our eyes a wee bit. Why not? Here we go. Can you see these red lines appearing here? That's the frequencies that the bass synth is affecting the electric piano. So let's sort that out. I'm going to let the bass sing because that's like 100 hertz. That's like low end stuff. So I'm just going to pull it down on the electric piano. And then I like compensating somewhere else. Good start. And you know what I might do? I might distort this a wee bit. Because I want to be... I wanted to have a wee bit of attitude. Like, this is a song. And this is my intro. So I'm going to look at Decapitator. Sound toy stuff is cool. And the idea is I want kind of like a wee bit of higher end distortion than what the frequencies that it's giving me. So these are different types of distortion. Don't quote me what they are. This is your drive. This is your punish. So you can like, do you want it really, really distorted? This is the button. You can pull your output down if you've added loads of volume because of distortion, and then you can mix whether you want it completely dry, completely distorted, or mix in between. So we're just going to play about with this until I get the sound I want. Love the piano sound. Thank you very much. I like this one. It's a transistor. I don't know. IBAM or LBAM. Thank you for following. Legend. Say hello in the chat. Let me know what you're up to. Okay. To me that sounds better. Maybe a bit less bright. I'm going to bring the output down. I'm going to bypass it to make sure the volume's the same as it was. There we go. So I've taken it a lot of the low, but of all I'm feeling with the distorted keys. Yeah, what a band, What a band. If you ever want to feel absolutely inferior with your musical skills, All Am are the band to listen to. My friend Callum Cronin played them for me once, and I think I gave up playing for 4 years. But that's what happens with bands sometimes, eh? Sometimes you get really inspired. Sometimes you're like, I suck. But there we go. We got so much more attitude in there now. So let's Let's step back and have a listen to it all. Not a touch of reverb on here. We're not going any reverb apart from the synth that came with reverb.
Why is life always one way? Just wasting my time. Pick a fight with the Monday. You can wait in the line. Now I'll think about it one day. With
Sick.
you on my mind. I can feel life's broken.
Bear with me, I'm just gonna have a wee listen to the sub.
Why is life always one way? Just wasting my time. Pick a fight with the Monday. You can wait in the line. Now I'll think about it one day. With you on my mind. I can feel life's broken. And I can feel life's broken. Sometimes in life you know you're hurting. When it comes down to us, I just fine.
What I've noticed is, so I'm mixing here with the Sennheiser HD 600s, and compared to my PMCs that I normally mix with in this room, the really subby stuff I can't really experience, and the really high end stuff I overmix in the headphones to try and catch it. Whereas I trust the speakers more. So I went to the speakers there and I was like, oh, my really high frequencies are too high. So I've got to keep that in mind. It's no big deal mixing in headphones. I've just got to keep that in mind that there's more high end than my brain wants. So I've pulled the high end of the drums back a wee bit to fit a bit better. Marian, thank you very much for liking the stream. Please say hello, let us know what you're up to. Nice. I like the synth, it's not bothering anyone. I really like this track that everything's got its own piece, everything's got its own melody, everything's got its own space. You can make a song out of anything, like you could take this and just the guitars and it just has its own thing going on. See what I mean? And I like that things just stop. Like the guitar just plays and stops and it's gone for ages. Or like this synth just stops after the chorus. Just I'm out of here for a bit. No big deal. Let the strings have the shine. Got different textures just bouncing around. So I like everything about these strings. They're kind of pre-mixed because the plugin that it came from. Again, I'm going to bring in this clip just to give it a wee bit of realism. I'm going to pop the vocals up a wee bit because I'm making everything a wee bit louder. It's a pop song, right? Vocals need to be kind of big. bit of more snare. I think that guitar's a wee bit lost. And bring the Game Boy up too. Okay. I'm liking everything up to here. The only thing I might worry about is the vocals and the vocal effects in the verses. I just need a bit more. I think that's why I put the tape machine in there. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to replace it with a clip. Give it a bit more. There we go. That's such a good plugin, honestly. I've shared this with my friend that's into music production. He'll be lurking in the background. Ah, thank you very much, Sweden. Oh, that distorted. Sweden bringing the fans. Legend. So this clipped here. I don't like that. I don't like that noise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a limiter here, L2. I don't want to compress it anymore. Everything's kind of fitting through. I just wanted to shut this up. So I'm going to bring this down to like 2 dB and then the threshold down to 2 dB. And what it should do is this limiter should limit it rather than it going through the master channel and distorting it. Let's put it down to 4. Just write 4. There we go. So see this problem here, this problem child? I didn't want to go down the route of putting any compressors on it. I didn't want to start chopping it in case there's some tuning things going on here with wave tune. It wouldn't change it anyway. So all I wanted to do was not have this note here distort. So I'm going to play it twice and let it distort. Then I'm going to play it twice with this limiter, stopping it at -4 dB so you can hear the difference. So I'll bypass it, let it distort twice. Hear the distortion? And then we'll let this thing sort it. Smooth. There we go. And you can see here how much it's pulling it down to stop it from distorting the master channel. And it's only happening on that note, that word we were having problems with. There we go. And that's all that plugin is doing. Nice and smooth.
I can feel that it's broken. I can feel that it's broken. Sometimes in life you know you're hurting. When it comes down to us,
Mental, huh? There's lots going on here. To get a vibe. So we got a comb filter, we got a bit crush, we got full back distortion. So this is happening in the choruses, which we have 4 takes of, I think. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got four takes happening to create this. It's emulating a mixing desk. That's not doing anything. We're doing a parallel nuke. We're just crushing it. But not too much, just like 2 dB. But this 1176 is doing a lot. See this pulling it down. That's just to make the volume kind of flatten a wee bit. Gives it a bit of attitude as well. And then finally I've taken out loads of the low end. Put some peaks in here to make it cut through and taken off the high end. Just to get the vibe. So I don't go into this, like you weren't here when I did that. Obviously I was doing that when we were messing around. I don't go into it thinking, okay, I need this plugin to do this. I need this plugin. I just mess around and I go, what would this be like? What would that be like? Well, I'm going to pull this plugin in and play around with it. That doesn't work. Get rid of that plugin. Pull in another one. Bypass it. Oh, and then it triggers something. You go, that sounds like this song that I love. That's what I'm loving about this. So let's listen to the song and see what it sounds like. And then you listen to the song and it goes, okay, it sounds nothing like what I did, but it just reminded me of it. So let's pull it towards that a wee bit. Let's be influenced by that. And then you end up with something unique. I wanted every effect in here to be really audible. I wanted it to be kind of jarring when an instrument leaves. I wanted it to be jarring when an effect or something is created. I want it to be kind of artistic. How are each of the takes panned? Let's find out. Okay, that's interesting. So you can see it here. So I'll highlight it. So that's the chorus. That's the mix bus or the mix folder for these. Track, it says scratch track, but we're keeping it. Scratch track 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we've got hard left for the first one. And we've got a hard right for the fourth one. And the second and third are straight down the middle. HB, is that high passed? Let's see if I high passed. So, okay, so this was recorded with a Slate Digital ML1 microphone. Let me show you the microphone. Let me go get it. All right. How are we doing? Who's excited? So here it is, the Slate Digital ML1. It's a cool microphone. Now, this microphone sounds flat by itself, but you put it through its own preamp, which is also flat. And then if you look at the screen, you can choose which microphone you want it to be. It's like getting to dress up your own G.I. Joe to be in Army or Navy or Air Force or whatever. It's like that, but for microphone geeks like myself. So you can choose the microphone and then you can choose the preamp that you want it to sound like. Really handy. It's this is emulating a B12, which is obviously an AKG C12. Does it sound like an AKG C12? I don't know, because I've never used an AKG C12. However, when I chose this microphone on Iain's voice, going through this microphone, it's what I wanted. I did then ruin the vocal to within an inch of its life with plugins and distortions, so it probably wouldn't have mattered which microphone I chose. Anyway, here we are, and that's the microphone I chose. That's a preamp. The high pass is up at 60 here, but I boosted a wee bit of 130. Sometimes I like to do that. Sometimes I like to boost straight after the high pass. It gives it a bit of realism. I don't know. I like to do that quite a lot. If I cut a frequency, my brain wants to boost the frequency beside it. I think like an S curve sounds natural to me. I don't know. Another rule of thumb is I like to boost wide and I like to cut narrow at the beginning, but sometimes I go to town and all the rules go out the window. And they've all got compression, a wee bit of shimmer on it to give it a wee bit more high end. Are they all the same? Let's see. Yes. So I just copied and pasted them all for all the takes. Good question. Thank you very much. So I've put them through Waves Tune. Now I need to have a listen to this right now because one of these takes is going too out of tune for me to enjoy. Sometimes in life you don't know you're hurting when it comes down to us. There, one's too low. I'm not sure which. When it comes down to us. I think it's the left one. When it comes down to us. When it comes down to us. Yeah, so let's pull up Waves Tune. I use a couple of tuning programs. My all-time favorite tuning program was one called V-Vocal by Roland. And it was in a program I used to use called Cakewalk. Man, I loved that tuning program. I knew it inside out. It was way before its time. It was really flexible. It was transparent. You could draw. You could pull it around. The clothes. You can't get that now. Like I've got a copy of Cakewalk, but because Roland don't own it, you can't get that vocal tuning program anymore. So Melodyne's the closest I've found, but I just find it trickier to use, a bit more fiddly. It's hard to zoom in and out and grab things quickly, and I just don't like it as much. I like Waves Tune to do this kind of stuff where it's really heavy-handed tuning. I find it's really quick for that. What I don't like about Waves Tune is that that's the maximum size the window goes. So it was kind of designed for small monitors a long time ago. So I kind of bounce between Waves Tune and Melodyne these days.
Sometimes your life, you don't.
See, he goes, sometimes for life.
Sometimes your life.
Maybe we'll just pull that down to keep it the same note.
Sometimes your life, you don't know you're hurting.
So it's on full. Everything's on full to get that clicking noise. The boost after the cut is the next best thing to keeping the fundamentals, especially for Vox work. If you cut the roots, sometimes it can sound thin, so a boost straight after gives the oomph without phasing. Mate, thank you so much. Thank you very much. That's really interesting. I knew it sounded better, but I didn't know why. And I think I learned that by watching other people do it when I was learning, but I never knew why. But yeah, the introducing phasing with EQ, that's something I need to look into. But yeah, thank you for letting me know that I'm doing an okay thing.
Sometimes your life, you don't know you're hurting. When it comes down to us.
There we go. That's my problem. Here.
When it comes down to.
He goes up a semitone. Pull down.
When it comes down to us.
Or it needs to go up maybe.
When it comes down to us.
Ha!
When it comes down to us.
When it comes down to us, when it comes down to us. Maybe that's right.
When it comes down to us. When it comes down to us, oh, I'll be just fine.
Maybe it is correct.
When it comes down to us. When it comes down to us.
Let's pull it back down.
When it comes down to us.
I'm liking that less.
When it comes down to.
I think it's because it warbles up and down here.
When it comes down to us, oh, I just need time. And how will I know if I'm not certain? With the future in sight, I need you to shine.
I'm going to leave it. I'm just stressing about stuff I shouldn't worry about now. Ian Beckham, thank you very much for liking the stream. Great work. I've got 3 Macs and over 30 vintage and new synths. Wow. I'll be looking to move up to the island soon and would love to collaborate on a project. With 30 synths? You're coming to the island with 30 synths? Are you serious? What synths? You're bringing 30 synths to my island? Okay, that was the best sentence I've heard in a long time. Okay, I'm happy. You know what I might do for the laugh? My mother was from Stornoway. Unreal. Well, please get in touch. Absolutely, I'll collaborate. Mate, there's a couch back there. Hang out. Come on down. I might do something fun here. I might get it panning. So they're kind of dancing around left and right. I'm thinking ahead for the music video, like seeing pink elephants. That's unreal, Iain. That's incredible. Yes, really, really fun music scene here. Every second person you meet will be a musician, so please get involved. Yeah, bring your synths. Synth day out. So at the moment, we have the distorted guitars kind of panned slightly to the right, and the Game Boy's dead center. So I'm going to automate the right channel to go to the left. I'm going to leave it for a couple of notes. And I wonder if that's long enough to go right then left, or left and right. Okay, that's way too much. I'm going to go halfway. Because once it goes to one ear, it seems to get way louder. And then let's do the opposite with a left channel from here to halfway to the end. Let's see what that sounds like. I'm going to do the opposite with a distorted guitar to go like that. I'm off to drive home. I'll be back tomorrow if you want. Sweden, it's been an honor. Thank you very much for tuning in every single day. And thank you for letting me know it's nearly dinner time. See you tomorrow, my friend. Cool. And then we'll let it sing. We'll let it sing in the middle for the beginning and the end. So I'm doing similar for this distortion here. It was panned to the. It wasn't dead center, but now it's going to be because we're going to start there. So let's look at the pan right of this Game Boy one here. So we need to do the opposite of this. So we're on the pan left. Hit it kind of at the same points. I'm holding control and clicking the mouse, by the way, to get these nodes. And then I'm going to bring it to the middle. And then I'll look at the left channel and do the opposite with the right channel here. We should get a cool kind of like moving around effect. I got that idea from a band I love called Wolfstone. And on one of their tracks called Cleveland Park, there's lots of acoustics going on. I think there's 2 acoustics at least, but they're kind of like slowly panning around each other. And when I was young, I thought it was just one crazy guitar. When I'm older, I can understand that there's more notes, but I just thought there was a beast of a player just like moving around, playing loads of tunes and stuff. So Wolfstone, Cleveland Park, check it out and listen to the panning of the guitars. It's lovely. Now, I'm going to listen on the speakers because I have no idea how loud that is. On headphones? Cool. It was a bit loud. I thought it might be. And then what happens here is this Valhalla Shimmer is a plugin and a half, by the way. See it here? This is what's giving the massive sizzling on really long reverby. It does like a cool diffusion thing. It feeds it back into itself. You've got mod rate and depth to kind of go like a chorus, kind of like changing frequencies, and the width and the frequencies detunes it slightly. Valhalla Shimmer, by the way, Valhalla is an amazing company. I use their reverbs all the time, the delays and everything. So these are kind of effects that me and Iain made for the crack one day just before lunch, I think. So that noise and stuff. Just automating stuff. So I think I was automating the bit crush. See that? That's moving all by itself. This frequency going up, that's what's giving the... Then I'm changing the bits too. And it should come back down. It's pretty cool. I love the aesthetic of this track. I really do.
I can feel life's broken, and I can feel life's broken.
Yeah, I'm so happy with that. So this is nearly done, right? I don't want to do any more that will ruin. So all I'm going to do to make this palatable on other systems is I'm going to put it through my a multi-band compressor. That this multi-band with this preset that I've made is kind of like a don't be an a-hole Keith plugin. So this is what tells me how I'm doing in the frequency ranges. If I'm loving low end that day and I'm boosting every low end of everything because I'm feeling it in my sub, that will destroy the mix in like a car system. Or if I'm loving like the high end snap of something through my speakers, that might be too much for someone's iPhone, you know. So this is like a tamer for me. And it gets everything kind of gelling together, and it's kind of like a starting point. C4, it's a really old plugin, but it's one I know really well. I've been using it since I started mixing, since it came out probably. So it's doing too much, and that's because of a thing called gain staging. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put C4 second. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to pull in, I'm going to pull this trimmer back. Make sure none of this is clipping first. You seem fine. So I'm going to pull back the trimmer, and that's just pulling the volume down at the end of these plugins until this is bouncing just a wee bit. I don't want going any further than -6. I'm happy with that. And I like pulling in these 3 Slate compressors. Take a dB out of each. Just a wee bit of compression each one. Get a wee bit of color from everyone. Give a makeup gain at the end. Sometimes if I want a wee bit more attitude, I'll add another one. I'll add, would you use that trim for your end vocal for the end of your vocal? Oh, I can't read today. Would you use that trim for your end vocal at the end of the compressor or a limiter? Wherever it needs it, basically. So the gain staging is important. Like, how much volume do you want going into this plugin? I'd put the trim before that plugin. If all the other plugins are doing sound, so that trim is just it's just a handy recalibration of the volume to make a plugin work its best. So if you're really happy with the mix and you've done everything, but you've got one plugin that needs to be fed quite hard for it to work well, you can put the trim before that and just boost up the volume, and it doesn't mess with the rest of your mix, and then you'll get that plugin working hard. So yeah, the gain stage is important, and really knowing your plugins and knowing how they work, what's too much where the plugin won't work its best, or the compressor will be working too hard, or so it's kind of like a shortcut to get the exact volume that you need really quickly. Sorry, I meant the final complete track, not vocal. I wouldn't use trim to get the volume up. I'd use a limiter to get the volume up. It's a quick answer to your question. Yeah. I like the idea. When's Iain's CD out? Iain's CD is going to be out, in a few months. In a couple of months. We're waiting for stuff kind of to be open so we can sell it. But we're pretty good to go. It's a shame we can't get more videos done just because of where we are and what we're doing. But there's 2 tracks out with nice videos, and hopefully we'll get one more for when the album's out. It's just tricky, as you know, Mother. It's tricky with moving around. But in terms of it being finished, probably 1 mix a day, 1 or 2 days for mastering. So it'll be done in like a week of working at it. one afternoon at a time. I like the idea of using that trim alongside the multi-band. And yeah, that's cool. The trim's handy. So, oh, that's interesting. So I'm going to loop around this bit just to make sure the compressors are working. I want a wee bit more attitude. I'm wanting more attitude with my headphones on, but that might not be the case. So there's one compressor, cream or pie. So that's far too much. So I'm just going to pull the threshold. I just want like 1 dB out of it. There we go. So what I would do here is I would export this track like this, and that would be it ready for mastering for me. Then when I'm mastering, I'll make a new channel with just the exported tracks of each track, so I can listen to them side by side. Then you can make like mastering decisions based on the album as a whole, not just track by track. So you might be in like the third track and everything's way brighter. So you've got a choice to make the track before and after, or the whole album brighter to fit, or tame that one down to fit the rest. And you'd make that decision by knowing your monitoring system. So basically not headphones, the monitors you listen to every day, and you know how music should sound through them. Or you can listen to references, just hop open music you really, really know, and A/B, like, okay, I'm listening to the hi-hats of this and the cymbals. Let's go back to Iain's track. Oh, they're far too prominent, far too loud. And then you can balance the high end like that. So references is good for mixing as well, but I can't do that because of copyright issues, obviously. But I've got quite a good idea of how I'm wanting these to sound anyway. But I'm going to show you a shortcut. I'm going to have to pull the volume down here. If I was to send this to Iain to have a listen to, I would do a quick AI master. So I choose a part of the song that's the loudest, probably here, like the chorus. I'll bring in Ozone. Ozone's really good for doing quick mastering choices. Everything's in here. If you're wanting more character or anything, you might be bringing in other plugins, but this is a good all-in-one. So if you need to sit at home and you've got no money, you need to master your own stuff, this is a good starting point. If you click here, up here, you've got Master Assistant. Now with Ozone, you can pull in loads of stuff, and I like to bring in like Imager a lot to make the 3D space wider. I won't be doing that today because I'm on headphones, so who knows what's happening with 3D space. But what you can do is you can loop round the loudest part of the track, hit Master Assistant, you get an option whether you want it to be like punched or gentle or whatever. And then you can see what settings it's done for the EQ, the dynamics, the maximizer, and you can tweak it afterwards. Or there's loads of presets in here too to see how it sounds better. But I really like the AI one because it gets you pretty close, and it's really good. It's a really good step before sending it to the client. So I would do this and I'd send it to Iain, and he would be listening to a kind of mastered version that he can listen against other tracks that we've made that have been mastered, or other tracks that he likes that obviously have been mastered too. So this gets louder, so I'm going to put the volume down a bit, and then I'm going to put it through a mastering assistant on CD at medium, just to let you know the difference. Off it goes. Analyzes the audio, sorts stuff out, and we can see what it did afterwards. Okay. Pull the volume down a bit so you can hear me. So first of all, the EQ. So Ozone has let me know that I've EQ'd my track quite well. It's given me a tiny wee boost at the very, very, very high end, That's not a big deal. And it's given me a little more sub than I had. That might be because I've got headphones on and I'm scared of boosting the sub frequencies because I can't hear them. It didn't use any dynamics because we've sorted out the dynamics of the track using compressors and stuff throughout. Dynamic EQ, so this is really clever. It's pulling down loud frequencies that are dynamic, so sometimes they're loud, sometimes they're not. And the reason it does this is so that when the volume hits the maximizer, which is the brick wall limiter, it doesn't pull it down so much. So I can pull this down and get louder and you'd be able to hear much more artifacts, or you could pull it up and it would get quieter and you'd have less artifacts. Something else really important as well is dither. If you're going to put this to CD, you have to dither it down from 24 bits is what we're working on, down to 16 bits, which is what CDs work with. And there's some options here that I don't really mess with. I just trust it. Okay, and that's pretty much it for this track. Chances are I'm going to have a listen to it without headphones on. I'll listen to it in the morning with fresh ears, and I'll change some stuff really quickly. But most of the work's been done here, and I kind of glossed over these guitars because I just liked how they were just there. Maybe we should have looked into the settings of the amps. But these were decisions that me and Iain made together. So I don't want to mess with them too much because we kind of decided these sounds were nice when we were recording. Isotope makes ozone, also make RX-7, one of my favorite tools for investigative work. I can reveal things I haven't really heard properly, such as extreme high-end detail. I can cut them out with a DAW. It's really good for geeky things like audio forensics. Yeah, I use RX-6. I think I'm one behind you, pal. Here it is. My favorites, right? My favorites are the Deplosive, which I was using yesterday because I was mixing a live track with an SM58 and there was loads of noises like that. This one gets rid of them so transparently, but don't put it on the whole track because it messes with the phasing. Just the clips with the plosives. And another one which has literally saved me days and days and days is this mouth declick. As well as working with music, I work a lot with TV and with voice, like I'm recording voiceovers quite often, which is like gentle talking like that, or audiobooks. And especially with our native language here on the island, Gaelic, there's a lot of mouth noises. And by mouth noises, I mean when you're talking. That's really distracting. And this, what you used to have to do was like zoom in to the waveform. And I'll show you an example of doing that. I'll do it with the drums. So you'd have to just zoom in like that, like way, way, way in. You'd identify a click. It would be like a high frequency here. So it would be like sharp. You'd get a pen and then you'd have to draw it out. So you'd have to do that 1,000,000 times to get it done, like in a piece of work. And that was so time intensive and there was no other way to get around it until this until this plugin came out. And honestly, like now, something that would take me probably 6 hours with an audiobook, this RX plugin, mouth declick rams through it in 10 minutes. And I can go do something else while that's happening. So that, honestly, that is the best money I've ever spent in terms of time versus payment in my business. So yeah, we're going to listen through this track one more time, everybody, and then I'm going to call it a day. So yeah, sit back, relax. Iain Wilson. This song doesn't have a name, official name yet. We called it Light when we were making it, but I'll have to speak to Iain about what we're actually going to be calling it. Maybe I should listen to the lyrics and we'll see what it says.
Why is life always one way? Just wasting my time. Pick a fight with the Monday. You can wait in the line. And I'll think about it one day with you on that's broken, and I can feel that's broken. Sometimes in life you hurt when it comes into us, so I just find how it was. When the future is sight, I need you to shine. Sometimes in life you hurt when it comes into us, so I just find how it was. When the future is sight, I need you to shine. I'd kill to be the one and then let it run dry. Moved too close to the sun and I paid the price. You never need to run, the last time we'll cry. And I can feel that it's broken, I can feel that it's broken. Sometimes in life you hurt when it comes into us, so I just find how it was. When the future is sight, I need you to shine. Why is life always one way, just wasting my time? Pick a fight with the Monday, you can wait in the line. Now I'll think about it one day, with you on my mind. I can feel that's broken, and I can feel that's broken.
Fab. Well done, Iain Wilson. Your song is sounding better than when I started, which is always the way you want to go, I think. LB Amp, please add me as a friend on Twitch. We'll talk about geeky stuff. You seem like my kind of person. But that's it. That's it for me. I've clicked save. It's been an absolute pleasure, everyone. Thank you very much. What a busy day I've had. I was absolutely flat out before I went on stream. This place was absolutely destroyed. Holes in the ceiling. We installed a new cloud above me, and I can't wait to get a reference mic and start analyzing the room. See how it is. I put like a sine wave generator through all the different frequencies, and I had a 80 hertz null in the room, and this cloud seems to have brought some, if not most of it back. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing like some waterfall readings to see if the null is gone, where my head hangs out. Otherwise I'm going to have to get a raising desk science stream now. Lovely. I've been lurking in the background but really enjoying the stream. Interesting what you were saying about audiobooks. I've been listening to I'm going to embarrass myself trying to pronounce this amazing person's name. Marilyn Robertson's Twitch. She should do some audiobooks. Yes, she should. I've been checking out her Twitch stream too, and her stories are amazing. Mariolane. Maybe it won't work with my Stornoway accent. Mariolane. I'll ask. Thank you very much, I say. Perfect. Okay, we'll take it. It just reminds me of Luigi's Mansion. Mario. Anyone played that? Cool game. Yeah, so that's it. What day is it today? Thursday. So I have loads of time to stream tomorrow. So I'm going to do something fun. I could work on this. I've got my own band I need to work on, Face the West. So one of them, I might pop into some other stuff I've got planned. We will see. I'll do something interesting. Mario Lane is on the junction to Rainbow Road. Imagine driving on Rainbow Road. That'd be terrifying. I wonder what kind of group would be on it. Anyway, I think we're getting a bit too deep. But it's been an absolute pleasure, everyone. I'm going to go home and have dinner with my family, hopefully while they're eating, for once. Have an absolute cracking evening. I will be streaming tomorrow after lunch. Big time lurker. Thanks, Jamie. Thank you so much. I'll be streaming after lunch tomorrow. So let's say 2:00 onwards. I may be on earlier doing a Twitch only stream. So if you're watching on Facebook, get your bum over to Twitch. The morning one will just be hanging out, chatting, messing around, and then we'll do something serious and cool like this in the afternoon. Or maybe I'll just be here in the afternoon. I'll just have to keep you guessing. I think it depends on how well the morning goes. But yeah, respect. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. I can't believe there's so many people giving me their time in the afternoon just to see what I'm up to. It's an absolute honor. It really is. And it feels amazing to have people to talk to after the year of slogging away in this room all by myself. The endorphins are pumping the same as if I had the band in here with me or some musical friends coming to hang out. So thank you very much. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart. I really mean it. So if anyone else is streaming or has any streams, please let me know. I want to hook them up. I had some links to people's music and I'm going to check them out as soon as I can. Because that's what it's about, right? Shading is caring. Shading is caring. Let's be a community. All right, everyone. Peace out and have a lovely evening and see you tomorrow if you're around. Cheers.